10 stocks to watch next week. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And today, we're going to speak about some stocks, baby. So this is something we do on the channel every single week, baby. So there are some fairly big potential pieces of news that will be coming out next week in regards to some of the stocks we speak about quite often on this channel. And there's also a few companies I want to briefly run through that we've never spoken about on the channel. And of course, we'll have a few regulars, a few fan favorites in there as well. Now, if you haven't seen one of these videos before, just so that you're aware, we go through things very quickly. There is 10 stocks, and I don't want this video to be 8 hours long. So, you know, we try not to spend more than 2 minutes on the company. Most of the stocks we speak about today I will have full videos on, so you can just search through my channel if you want more information. So I don't want to waste any of your guys' precious time. Right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, my friends? It really does help me out. I really would appreciate you an awful lot. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Please hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family. We just hit 45,000 subscribers and we're trying to get to 50,000 ASAP, so I really would appreciate you. And please drop me a comment down below. I want to know what stocks you are looking at next week. So with that being said, my friends, let's get straight in to the juicy information. So we are starting it off with our baby, the company that is Workhorse. So we've been speaking about Workhorse quite a lot over the last week or so. Well, the last few months really, but the last week or so has been crazy. We all know about the short report that came out that was attacking myself and other YouTubers. But the reason we're going to be keeping a particularly close eye on Workhorse next week is because, well, of this October 13th. You've probably seen this at this stage as well. Roth Capital sees positive outcome for Workhorse in the USPS contract. This is largely what led to us going up over 12.5% on Friday and another 5+% in the after hours. Roth Capital came out and said that they expect the USPS contract to be announced on October 13th. This is because it's 90 days after the next generation delivery vehicle RFQ contract began, so it should technically be coming out then, but because of the Roni, it may be delayed. So we need to watch this for a couple of reasons, because either the contract is going to come out and we're all going to be super happy and the stock price is going to boom up, or else it won't come out, and that could cause some fear and uncertainty in the market and it could go down. So regardless of whether things go for the bulls or for the bears, very important to keep an eye on this company next week if you are an investor. But do just keep an eye on them, my friends, okay? That's the first company of today, Workhorse. We always have to cover them. And I mean, when we speak about Workhorse, we have to speak about Lordstown Motors, especially when we just got their definitive proxy statement stating that the merger is going to happen. And again, like Workhorse, we were up nearly 13% on Friday and they're up over 5% in the after hours. I mean, 18% in the span of just over a day. That is insane, my friend. So in the after hours, we're all the way up to $24.45 a share. That is juicy. I mean, considering this massive sell-off we've been on, this is very welcome by investors right now. So I know the 22nd isn't next week, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens price action wise. So they announced it on Twitter. October 22nd is when the special stockholder meeting will be to approve the proposed business combination. But we've seen as of late Lordstown Motors and Workhorse move a lot the same, and considering that Workhorse is pretty much guaranteed to have an extremely volatile at least start to the week, it's going to be equally important to keep a close eye on Lordstown Motors. I'm going to put it that way. Also guys, for the record, I am on Twitter now. You will see me here, Jack Spencer Investing. If you're looking for me, I'm going to start posting on there probably at least once a day, so you know, drop a follow if you want. But yeah, that's really what I have to say on Lordstown Motors. Nothing else aside from that, but very exciting stuff. Let's just see what price action brings us next week. Now next up we have Tesla, and we actually haven't really been speaking about Tesla all that much as of late. I think we all know how crazy of a year it's been for Tesla, in particular how crazy the last couple of months were surrounding Battery Day and the stock split. As of right now, we're sitting at $433 a share. From all-time highs, we're down about 13%, which actually isn't that bad when you can see we were down 33%. So the recovery from there has been very nice in general. So I mean, I haven't bought these guys in a while. I haven't been looking at them too much. Tesla's Q3 earnings call with Elon Musk is set for October 21st. So again, like Lordstown Motors, this news isn't coming out next week, but it will be coming out very soon. And in my opinion, it's going to be very important to see yet again what price action does next week. What market sentiment is like in general next week. Not just for Tesla, but the overall market sentiment and EV in particular. Because I mean, we all know what Elon Musk, we all know what Tesla can do to the broader EV market. So hopefully people are going to respond quite well to what happens. I do personally expect a great earnings call. I think most of us do, considering the last 4 quarters we've seen. But again, a matter of time, a matter of waiting. The stocks chart has been very weird lately, so let's just see what happens. I still stand by what I've said in the past in regards to these guys. I wouldn't really buy anywhere above 350 as of right now, but I still think, as I've said many times, from a long-term perspective, if you're willing to hold Tesla for 10+ years, you're probably going to make money at literally any price. But yeah, last time I bought literally was down here. I think I got in at 340 something. something, it was only a little bit, I would really load up sub 300. But that's Tesla. We'll just see what happens next week. So one of my absolute favorite big tech stocks, Apple, 6-month chart, absolutely beautiful. We've done really nice. There was a big sell-off, to be fair, quite a decent size sell-off. We're still down, similar to Tesla, about 13% from all-time highs, but it's still been a fantastic year, no doubt. So this is why we want to watch them next week in particular, my friends. The iPhone maker's biggest event of the year will be October 13th, when we expect to see the delayed announcement of the 5G iPhone 12. So this is going to be massive. I mean, it's obviously going to be massive for iPhone, but it could have a knock-off effect into other phone brands and 5G chip providers. More than likely will be a very big day, and this also happens to be the same day that the Workhorse contract could well be announced. I know I'm going to be a very busy bee on October 13th regardless, I'll put it that way. But very obvious to see why we would watch this. I mean, if some big news comes out, if the phone looks good, if people are happy, the stock price is going to go up. It really doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Boom! Virgin Galactic. What a month it's been in general. Not even a month, what a 2 weeks it's been in general, okay? We have gone up in value absolutely massively after trading between $15 and $17 a share for a very considerable period of time. We finally got a nice jump up in value, and we're hoping that we can keep it there, and we're hoping that we can keep going up at a very nice pace, because there has been some really nice days here. So again, it's not necessarily next week that the catalyst is happening, it's the following week, but we want to see how the market is reacting the week coming up to the catalyst. So they say here, Virgin Galactic is weeks away from reaching a huge milestone. That huge milestone is their next test flight. October 22nd, the window for that test flight opens. Now it's important to understand it's the window that's opening. It's not guaranteed that the test flight will happen on the 22nd, and in my opinion it more than likely won't happen the 22nd. It'll more than likely be sometime between the 23rd and the 25th or 6th in my personal opinion, but we will have to wait and see. What we do know for certain is it will come relatively shortly after the 22nd, and if that flight is to go well, we are one step closer to Richard Branson going to space in the first quarter, or maybe even the first half of next year. And I've made my stance very clear on this in the past. When that happens, you know, I think anybody who is buying down here, or even at these prices, even back here in the 25s, we were up at 27, I think all of those guys are going to have a very nice cost basis if Richard Branson goes to space as early as the first half of next year. Yes, I do think it's going to be a volatile time until then. I held here, I mean, I bought them in the 14s, I held all the way up to the 25s, 27s, I've held all the way down, I've bought more, and I'm still at a decent position. I have zero intentions of selling these guys. They're as speculative as it gets. They're very high risk, high reward. You do have to be a particular kind of investor to be willing to invest in these guys, but I am that kind of investor, and I'm very happy to hold my position, and I am very excited to see what happens October 22nd and the days preceding. So that's 5 companies down, 5 more to go. Now we have a few we haven't gone through on the channel before. Okay, this one's for the guys in my Discord. They've been asking me to cover these guys for so long. I have done some research into this company. I can't act like I can give you guys a full analysis just yet. We're looking at Corsair Gaming, okay? Interesting company. Went public the 23rd of September and have been on a very nice run since then, okay? So they were up very close to 50%. They have sold off a bit since, but they're still up 27% from going public. That does show a fall of about 13.5% from the very top, but all in all, they've been doing very well. You can see that as of right now, we have a market cap 1.66 billion and a PE ratio of about 53. So for a company going public, especially a relatively exciting one, this is okay. So if you don't know anything about Corsair, okay, they're known for its gaming components and equipment. Streaming gadgets, mouses, keyboards and headsets. I'm looking into buying a streaming PC. I've been looking at a lot of Corsair stuff. They look incredible. Really high-end stuff, you know. In 2019, okay, the company generated $1.3 billion in revenue and earned a profit of $31 million. So I know that profit isn't the biggest, but if we can focus on that revenue of $1.3 billion for a second, when we compare that to the market cap of $1.66 billion, I mean, that's very exciting in itself. Especially when you think about the fact that, you know, the world of gaming, the world of PCs is getting bigger and bigger and bigger with every single year that passes. I mean, competitive esports, more people are going to be working from home. There is going to be so much more demand, in my opinion, every single year for a very long time for high-end PCs. Now I know that somebody who's just working from home may not necessarily need a Corsair PC, etc. A lot of people will still want them, especially your likes of streamers, which we all know is getting so much more popular. Your gamers, your esports competitors, which again, very competitive markets, fast-growing markets. Somebody like Corsair has a lot of room to run. So I'm making this video now because I've said I was going to do it in my Discord for a while. I will make a full video on these guys without a doubt at some stage. It's just not yet. But if you want to be ahead of me, start doing your research now, my friends. They do look very exciting to me. Another company that only went public very recently, okay? Unity Technologies. 18th of September at $68.35 a share. they've been on a beautiful run, okay? We're up 45%. We're at all-time highs after going up 8.5% on Friday. So these guys are an American video game software development company. So again, similar to what I just said, fast-growing industry. So Jim Cramer did initially cover these guys, and he said that patience is a virtue. But very recently, he was speaking very highly of them. Now, what I will say right off the bat, before you even know anything about the company, we've seen this happen with public companies a lot. They go public, they shoot up, we come back down, and then we start going up again. So I have to say, to an extent, I may well be in agreement with Jim Cramer as of right now that, you know, we may get a better buying opportunity here. Now again, this isn't a company I've done all of the research in the world into. I am very aware of who they are. I'm not particularly pushed to get into them, but I do want to see what the price action does over the next week or two. And I may well do some serious research into these guys if it does things that I like the look of and if I think I can get in at a good price. But Jim Cramer essentially compared this to Snowflake, and he said, like all other red hot IPOs we've seen this week, you need to let Unity cool down before you even think about touching it. He said, I'd consider this one enticing around $50 or maybe less. Now, I don't have price points at all. $50 does signify a 50% downside. Now, so being, he said this when they went public, when they were $68, you know what I mean? So obviously they've gone up very nicely since then. I don't have price targets, but again, these guys have piqued my interest. I may end up making a full video on them at some stage. Now guys, a very weird one, okay? Playboy. Playboy is the latest company to join the SPAC frenzy, and they will go public after nearly 10 years of being a private company. And now they're looking to go public again through a SPAC, and that SPAC is trading at $10.04 a share. So safe to say, hasn't been an awful lot of hype here. I mean, the most they got to was $10.50. It hasn't been that exciting for these guys at all yet. Now the thing is, okay, the merger is valued at $381 million, including net debt outstanding of $142 million. It's expected to close in the first quarter of 2021. So I mean, guys, I have to say, I don't think I'm too interested here. I have, however, seen some people in my Discord chat about this one and getting interested in it. But I figured some of you guys might not know about this one. You might want to do some research. You might want to go doing some due diligence into Playboy. That's not really something I thought I was going to be saying on this channel, but it's just an interesting little one there in case you've never heard of them. Okay, now we're having a look at Multiplan. The ticker symbol is now MPLN. Went public via a SPAC, and it has not been an enjoyable journey for investors. We're trading under $10 at $9.82 a share. I'm somebody who is invested in these guys. I have 150 shares at, I believe, $11.30 or so a share. So it hasn't been a fun journey. Now, from the start, I said that I think these guys will be a lot slower. I thought investing pretty early on, it carries low risk, and I do still think it carries relatively low risk. I mean, I still don't think I'm ever going to lose more than 20% in this position, but I didn't think it was going to be this slow. You know, I thought there was going to be some sort of initial move to the upside, because these guys have good revenues, they're in a good position, they're very well established, they have a long history of growth. I think the main problem is they're just not very exciting. And a lot of people who are investing in these SPAC companies like the exciting ones, the ones that have the potential to go up 200% in a few weeks. That we've seen happen so many times with, say, all of the EV SPACs. I've never believed that Multiplan carried that kind of, you know, potential. I do think they're a little bit more of a slow burner. They're a nice way to diversify, but it has been very disappointing so far, I will put it that way. So as an investor, at these current prices, I mean, I really need to see something happen. You know, I knew it was going to be slow, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. So I'm going to watch them very closely over the next 2 weeks or so at least. And, you know, we'll see what I decide to do with my position. I will, of course, keep you guys updated. And the last one we have is actually Nio Stock. And these guys have been on a fantastic run, okay? So again, on the monthly chart, or even if you just look at the last 2 weeks, up 19% there. In the last 2-ish weeks, up 20%. Been a very nice run, especially when we go to the 6 month. We've had our ups and downs with Neos, but I mean, we've always had our ups and downs here. Sitting at $21.47 a share. I mean, I initially bought these guys in the 12s. I think I cost averaged up to about 14. I know I'm up over 50% anyway, so it must be around the 14 mark. I'm happy with them. You know, it still is, I think, my smallest EV position. If hyliion keeps crashing, hyliion might be my smallest position. But as of right now, I like them. I must say I really like them. And I'm in this kind of middle ground. I'm like, am I willing to, you know, put a considerable amount more money into this company at current prices, or am I just going to sit on my relatively small position forever? Or if there's a big pullback, I mean, I'm speaking a 20, 30, 40% pullback, would I then be willing to buy? It's a company where I'm not willing to just buy at any time. There's some companies I am, and it's not just because it's all-time highs. I mean, I've bought at all-time highs so many times. I mean, Workhorse, Lordstown Motors, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, everybody. I've no problem with buying at the highs. It works out for me pretty much every single time so far. Nio, I do think, is one. We've a history of big ups and downs. We've been on a really nice run. So I'm at a stage now where I'm tempted to open a bigger position, but I don't want to buy at these prices. I'll be absolutely fine if I miss out and never get to add to my position. And I'll actually be quite happy if they do come down considerably, because I can buy more. So So my friends, there we have it. 10 juicy little companies for you to go and have a little bit of a research into for the week that is coming. Some of them with catalyst coming up very soon. Some of them won't be happening for another 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. But worth keeping an eye on. If you enjoyed today's video, could I please ask you to hit that like button, drop me a comment and subscribe if you're new around here, because all of that really does help me out so much. And if you have watched until the end of the video, as always, you my friend are a true legend and I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You're helping me out so much. Just thank you for being here. It genuinely means the world to me. But I do think we're in for a very exciting week, pretty much across all industries that I'm interested in. I think for tech and EV it's going to be very, very exciting. Let's see what's going to happen with the stimulus package. Let's see what Trump's going to do. Let's see what Workhorse has to do, the USPS, Apple in particular, some exciting stuff. And also guys, if you are interested, please feel free to hit that first link in my description and sign up to become a patron. You will get full access to my private Discord, and inside of there you will get access to my buy and sell alerts, new ticker symbols to watch, specific stock chats for Workhorse, Lordstown Motors, Apple, everybody we speak about on the channel, and you'll just get to be a part of a community of pretty much 400 investors at this stage, where we just chat about stocks all day long. Loads of good ideas gets in there, lots of breaking news. It's an awesome community, so just hit that first link. But anyway my friends, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video very, very soon. Peace.